Hello and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to use the stick stove, which I recently did a video on, the wood burning stick stove, correctly. See, I got a comment from this user saying you should load it from the top and it'll burn from top down, which actually makes this system right here a lot better. See, not only does it burn for longer, but it also prevents less smoke from coming. So I put a video together today to show you exactly how you're supposed to do it. So first of all, we're going to set it up. Same exact setup. Of course, this time remembering to make sure you have it in a solid spot. And of course, having the bottom on correctly. You can accidentally put it upside down like I did for part of the last video. But yeah, make sure it's all set up correctly, in a solid position, and then we're good to start fueling it up. So you can see here, thumb size sticks. Some of them are slightly longer, but what you'll notice, I'm going to try and aim to put the longer pieces in the center and the shorter pieces on the outside. Basically, the reason for this is so I can get the lid on afterwards, and it's still going to use the top air gaps a little bit rather than fully blocking them up. So you can see here, I'm loading it with different size sticks, but no bigger than my thumb. And yeah, I'm getting all the smaller sticks in the gaps, just making sure it is nice and full. So here is a little closer look at what we're working with. A load of sticks pointing upwards, all neatly in. And you can even get a few more little sticks into those gaps if you have any more gaps. I highly suggest doing so. So that's exactly what I'm doing. Of course, remember, the more fuel you do have packed in there, the longer it is going to be lit for. So really do try and fill up as much gaps as you can. So you can see here, this is a clip from the previous video when I did a video on this stove. And we are lighting it from the bottom up. This is not the best way to do it. Yes, it works, but the best way to do it is by lighting it from the top down. Now this is going to burn all the way down. I am using a fire lighter, but you could use some kind of natural fire lighter. Yeah, it will just work exactly the same. Like I said, I'm using a fire lighter just for speed. You can see here, I'm struggling to get on the top, so I'm going to have to pull out a few of the taller sticks on the outside. However, once I've removed them, yeah, we can nicely sit that lid on. And all we've got to do now is wait for that fire lighter to burn down, and it will do just that. So whilst I'm waiting for that, you can see here it's slowly starting to get some of those top pieces of wood on. And yeah, like I said, whilst I'm waiting for this, what I'm going to do is get myself some water ready to boil. So we're going to be cooking and making a drink in this video. So we're making enough water for 2 people again. And I'm going to be making 6 eggs after I've boiled the water. So just a little clean out of the canteen. Fill the canteen up with enough water for 2 people, and then we can get it on the boil. So the reason I'm rushing a little bit is because I kind of want to use the fire lighter to as fuel as well. You know, you could potentially boil some water on a fire lighter. So I'm using that as a little bit of fuel as well whilst it's lighting the sticks. You just got to be careful it doesn't go out. I just got to get a good position. Ideally, I could do with a better kind of canteen, a little bit bigger, so it sits on nicer. But of course, you do have to make do with what you have, right? And this was literally just a £6 one from Amazon. I mean, it's pretty decent for the price. And you can already see after just a few seconds. Well, you can't really see it that much, but yeah, you can see it like kind of, yeah, it's starting to warm up. We just got to wait a little bit longer, obviously, for it to start to boil. Got a few little bubbles in there now. And the smoke coming off it, there is literally next to none. I don't know if you saw it on my last video. There was a lot more. At least, that's what I think. And on this, you can see the water is slowly starting to boil. And this has barely been any time at all. You can see the stove is slowly going out as well at the bottom. So really make sure you keep an eye on it. You don't really want to have to keep relighting it. What I do is just lift it off, just give it some oxygen, and it should be alright to keep burning down, as you can see. And now we've got a really good flame. So let's get on to cooking up our eggs. We don't want to waste any time. I'm going to melt down some butter. This took literally no time. And as soon as I've done this, make sure it's on nicely, I am going to start cracking the eggs into the pan. I'm going to have 6 eggs. See here, yeah, the butter's nicely melted down. And like I said, we're having 6 eggs. So here's 1. Here's egg number 2. Egg number 3. 4. Egg number 5. And last but no means least, egg number 6. This one kind of fell out a little bit, but not to worry. So we've got 6 eggs in there in total. I kind of like didn't want them to run all everywhere. Like some of the yolks broke as well. Not ideal. Although, yeah, it doesn't make it taste any different, to be honest. So what we're going to do is kind of make one big fried egg. Got the coffee ready there as well. And we're just letting it heat up. I bought myself a lid. It's not the right lid for the pan. But what this is going to do is catch the steam. And that's also going to cook the top of the eggs. So we're using the heat from the steam to cook the top. And of course we're using the bottom of the stove to cook the bottom. Working super nice. It's a little bit of a slow process. But you can see here the eggs are really nicely boiling up. So nice little trick you can do to create a little bit more steam, allowing the top of the eggs to cook better. Just to add some water. Just little drops of water like this. It does have to be fairly hot to do this. Put your lid back on. And that will trap the steam, cooking the tops of the eggs really nicely so you don't have any slimy eggs. So let's have a little look to see how we are going. You can see the fuel is going really well still. We've still got a lot of heat coming from the stove. And the eggs are cooking up really nicely as well. You can see all that steam coming out. So I'm going to make sure I don't lose it all. And put that back on. Make sure it's not sticking. It shouldn't stick because I used some butters. Really nice. Just making sure that the top's not slimy. I hate slimy eggs. I don't know about you guys. Just gonna make sure I've got enough water on there so it cooks the top. But it's looking good. You can see it's a little bit crispy underneath on the edges. But to be honest, I don't mind that. And look at the fuel. You could quite literally still cook something on it. I'm just going to continue to cook my eggs a little bit. Put a little bit of pepper and salt. And these are pretty much good to go. And you saw, literally, yeah, we still have enough fuel right there. Look at that. To quite literally cook something else. I could cook up or boil up some water as well. I have not refueled it throughout this video. So, yeah. As far as how long this stove stays lit for, if you actually light it correctly, it's fully smokeless. And, yeah, it pretty much stays lit for a longer duration of time. And you can see here, I'm just literally eating my eggs. And we've still got such a good flame on the stove. Once again, I have not added any other sticks to the initial adding of the sticks at the beginning. It's got the exact same amount of fuel in. No more has been added whatsoever. And right at the end, you can see the difference. There's a slight difference. I mean, it's kind of the same. But here, it's a real fine powder that you are left with. It's really easy to dispose of. I'm just using a stick to get it out the little gaps at the bottom. And if I just flick over the stove itself, as far as, I mean, tidying this up, it is going to be so easy. Look at that. Just look how fine the ash is. I mean, I think if you burn it from the bottom to the top, it's a little bit less fine. I noticed as well. But there we are. That is how to use the stick wood burning stove properly. I do hope it helps you out. I'll catch you on the next one.